Hi fans, and welcome to this WPIAL Quarterfinals edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. Last Friday night, the Wolverines defeated Upper St. Clair 28-21 to wrap up the regular season at the Wolverina. This Friday night, the Wolverines will host Franklin Regional in the WPIAL Quarterfinals. We're going to sit down with Woodland Hills head coach George Novak to review last week's victory over Upper St. Clair, preview this week's game against Franklin Regional. We'll also let you see highlights of last Friday's game. All of that and more on the pregame show here on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
St. Clair, first play of this drive, and the ball is hammered loose from Visman. He was hit hard. A Wolverine dove on top of the football. You'll credit Robertson with the fumble recovery, and it'll be first down and 10 for Woodland Hills. Pistol formation, handoff. Holt running to the left-hand side. He's got blockers in front of him. Inside of the 10, inside of the 5. He'll cross the goal line for a Woodland Hills touchdown, and the Wolverines capitalize on the takeaway. 7:36 to play as the ball is handed off. Straight up the middle goes Jawan Hill. He'll break it to the near side right. Inside of the 25 to the 20. Still on his feet. 15, 10, 5. End zone. Touchdown.
That was a great job of Jawan Hill taking the ball right up the middle.
Hansberry in the shotgun, setting up the screen, and the pass is intercepted. Diving and catching the football is Deontay Robertson. His second takeaway of the game. Woodland Hills looking to cash in. Jones down that far boundary, and it is caught for a Woodland Hills touchdown, covering 40 yards. Avram Abramovich with the catch. Off of play action, Hansberry throws it down the middle, and the pass is caught. Geisler was able to gather it back in. Handoff, Visman running left. He will be spun down by Seed Holt. Turnover on downs. It's Woody high ball. And Hansberry is hit as he released the football. It's intercepted. Going down that far sideline is Deontay Robertson. He's going to catch it for the pick six. Hansberry running to the near side left. He will throw a jump ball up into the air, and it will be Derek Caraway with the INT. And play action as Hansberry drops straight back. He'll throw the ball down the middle of the field, and the pass is caught and shoved to the floor goes Colin McClendon. Offset eye backfield. Play action on the end around. Pass into the end zone, and it's a touchdown for the Panthers. Hansberry off of play action, late pressure. He'll be wrapped. He'll be sacked. Damian T. Thomas makes the play. Straight drop back. Hansberry throws it down this near sideline, and it's caught by Derek Caraway on the interception, and Caraway is going to try to get some blockers out in front of him. He's going to run to that far sideline, retreating back around the 40-yard line, hesitating, and he'll just step out of bounds. Twins right. Hansberry straight drop back out of the shotgun. He's going to be pressured as he rolls out of the pocket, and a nice ankle tackle. Making the stop is Deontay Robertson. So Whitehurst on to punt it away. The snap is high. Whitehurst will kick it out of the back of the end zone. Sapulio motions from left to right, back to the left-hand side, and the pass down the near sideline is going to be caught for a touchdown. Leaping up and grabbing a hold of that football is Jackson Geisler. Blitz pressure on, and the quarterback, Hansberry, is sacked by Asheed Page Jones. Hansberry off of play action. Rolling to his right-hand side, he will throw to this near boundary, and the pass is complete to Jackson Geisler. Hansberry, straight drop back. He's looking to the left-hand side, and he has a receiver wide open. He'll hand off to Seed. Holder runs to the right. He's got the first down. He's got more than that, and that ought to do it.
We are the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Since 1987, we've been a part of some of the most electrifying football games in Western Pennsylvania, and we've established a national reputation of excellence. Whether you're a former player, a Woody High alum, a parent, or a fan, you're part of our Wolverine family. And now you can join us by becoming a part of our new booster club, the Wolverine Nation. Visit WHFBA.org and see how your donation can help our student athletes while earning you unique benefits. We're more than just a booster club. We are the Wolverine Nation.
Hi again, fans, and welcome to this WPIAL Quarterfinal edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. Adam Gusky here, sitting down with Wolverines head coach George Novak. And Coach Novak, before we talk about this week's playoff game against Franklin Regional, let's take a look back to last week's victory against Upper St. Clair. Very opportunistic in the first half, and your defense held strong in the second half when need be.
At the start of the season, I felt that Upper St. Clair and West Allegheny would be two of the top teams in the conference, and from what personnel that they had coming back into this year, unfortunately Upper St. Clair had one of their better players, Visman, get hurt in the first game. He just came back the last couple games, and he's a great football player, both on offense and defense. And he did play against us. He wasn't 100%, but they have a very good football team. Just looking at the game, our kids came out ready to play. After the week before, they had to prove to some people that they were still a good football team. And they came out ready to play. There's a lot of good football teams in 5A, and we're one of them. And on any given night, we can go out and play well and beat teams. So it's going to come down to execution. And, we executed offensively and defensively Friday night against Upper St. Clair. I think the first half, the defense played very well. Give credit to Coach Thompson. He did a nice job with the kids, preparing them. Kids focused all week, defensively and offensively. And, we had a couple big plays on offense, and defense got turnovers, interceptions. Dede was player of the game, had 2 interceptions and returned 1 for a touchdown. Just had a well of a game. But, just looking back, and even at halftime, I told the kids, I said, you know what? It's 28-0, but you're talking about the #1 coach in the state over there. He got the most victories of anybody in the state. He's not going to lie down for us. They're going to come out and play hard. And, they had a couple big plays on us, and they were back in the game. But, Coach Render does a great job with his kids, and they got some nice, talented kids on the offensive and defensive lines and some of their skilled guys. So we expected to have a tough game, but the kids held on tough at the end there defensively. They made some great plays, and penalties went against us. We had a lot of penalties, both hurt us on offense and defense. But we lost a little bit of our energy that second half until it started getting close.
Well, Coach, you touched on Deontay Robertson, and he was the Great American Rivalry Series Player of the Game. He was also our State Senator Jay Costa Player of the Game. He had a fantastic game on both sides of the ball, but he was spectacular on defense with 3 takeaways, a fumble recovery, and 2 interceptions. Yeah,
Dede's really come a long way. He didn't play football for a few years and came back last year and played, and didn't know whether he was going to play or not this year. Wasn't here for the first game, but he came back after that, and he's really done well both offensively and defensively. He's one of our top players. Made some big plays in that game. Offensively, he does a great job blocking. He's a great pass receiver, but he also is an outside linebacker for us, and he had a phenomenal game with the fumble recovery and 2 picks. I think that was key to our victory against them. Just a great kid too. He's a great basketball player. He'd probably play any sport. He's an athlete, and he's just a nice kid, good student, solid citizen. So we're real proud of Dede and all he's done.
Another player on the defensive side of the football that had a fantastic game was Damian T. Thomas, number 13. He really made an impact.
Damian, he's his own worst enemy sometimes, but he has a short fuse, and when he doesn't understand things, sometimes he gets frustrated. But he's kind of settled in at the position, and he learned how to play it, and it took a while. He's a great athlete with good size and good speed. I know Notre Dame in Ohio, Division II schools offered him a scholarship because of his athleticism and his size, but he's another good kid that's been working hard and just getting better every week.
Coach, let's switch to the offensive side of the football, where we saw both Jawan Hill and Saeed Holt contribute very well in the running game.
Yeah, we got a good 1-2 punch with Jawan and Saeed. Both of them play defense and on special teams, so they kind of share the tailback position, and it's a good 1-2 punch. They both have speed. Jawan's a little faster, Saeed's a little bigger. Saeed will get you to tough yards inside or outside, but he has the speed to break away. And, both of them are also good outstanding defensive players for us. So, you know, those are two of the important guys on the team this year. And so he can make plays. He got us some big first downs. Well, the last one of the game, he fought his way. A couple times he fought his way to get first downs on third and fourth down plays.
Coach, let's stick with the offense and talk about Daniel Jones, who made his second consecutive start. Evaluate his performance.
He's getting better. You know, every day he gets better. You know, he started out a little slow this year. I think he was frustrated. He had to learn that a quarterback has to have a short memory. You make a bad play, you can't go over it and over. You got to forget it and get on to the next play, and he does a good job at that. He's becoming a good team leader. He has a strong arm. You know, he's still got a lot of things to work on to get better, but you know, he's going to be a very good quarterback, and you know, he's finding his receivers now, throwing to them. He got some good receivers. Made some nice throws. There was a perfect pass to Avram on the deep pass for a touchdown. It was, you know, just a perfect pass. He threw one to Derek just off his fingertips, would have been another deep pass. So, you know, we got some good receivers, and Danny's doing a nice job getting on the ball.
Coach, you mentioned Derek Caraway, and, you know, he's a great receiver, but his ability to catch the ball on the defensive side of the football really seems to be making an impact over the past several weeks.
Yeah, he's had a lot of interceptions for us this year. He's played well in the defensive backfield. You know, he's our cover guy. Usually he covers the best receiver, and, you know, he likes that challenge. He likes to play against the top receivers on the other team, and he's done very well for us. You know, he's a good, skilled guy on offense, and he returns punts and everything. So, you know, he got a lot of skill, a lot of athleticism, and he's a tough kid.
Coach, let's talk about this week's game against Franklin Regional. And before we talk about the Panthers, let's talk about the playoff seeding. Last Friday night, Fred and I were being a bit of playoff prognosticators headed into the latter stages of the game. And we really anticipated Woodland Hills getting the number 3 seed. But you got the 4th seed. And when I took a look at what McKeesport did versus what you guys did, I think it adds up.
You know, it could have went either way. You know, we finished second in our conference. McKeesport finished second. You know, we lost to the same team. You know, we both beat Upper St. Clair, so there weren't a lot of even things. I think it worked out better for the seeding of all the teams because you got 8 teams. You come down. I know the Post-Gazette ranked us 5th, so, you know, it is what it is. You know, we're happy to be in the playoffs, and I'll be honest, Adam, this is probably one of the most competitive playoffs. There's no easy games. You know, North Hills plays West State. North Hills has a good football team. Gateway's going up to Armstrong. Gateway has a good football team. You know, Upper St. Clair is very good. They played McKeesport. They had a close game the first time. You know, Franklin Regional is probably the surprise of everybody because they lost their first 2 games, and they beat some very, very good teams down the stretch here. And you know, they're a good, very good team.
Now let's talk about the Panthers. What can we expect to see from Franklin Regional?
Coach Bodeyes, you know, he's been around for a lot of years as an assistant and as a head coach, and he does an outstanding job with the kids. And that area is growing out there. They have some big physical players on the offensive and defensive lines, and they're a well-coached team, well-disciplined. I think they settled in after those first 2 games what they wanted to do. You know, they got a big quarterback. He's 6'4", 215 pounds. He plays outside linebacker. He's our leading rusher. He throws the ball too, but he's over 1,000 yards passing. So, you know, he's a wildcat guy that can throw the ball, which is the most dangerous thing you could have a quarterback. They're strong on the offensive line. They got several running backs. Andy Leopold comes in and runs the wildcat for him. His dad actually played for me years ago over at Still Valley. Nate Leopold's a very good player. He also plays corner for him, but he'll go in there and he's dangerous with the ball in his hand. They got some big blocking backs that they use to lead the way. They have a very good scheme on defense and offense. They have a very good team.
Let's talk about the matchup. How do you feel you match up against the Panthers?
We have a little bit more speed than them, I think. They have a lot of size. They have mostly seniors playing. couple young kids. Probably one of their best players, the Clair kid. He's number 71. He plays center and linebacker. He's 6'3", 230. Their linebackers are big kids, and they play a 3-5 defense. And they're crowding the box, and their mission in life is to stop the run. And they do a good job of it. And, they beat some good teams. They beat Armstrong Central. That Armstrong's only loss up at Armstrong. They beat Gateway, beat Penn Trafford. So they're a very, very good team.
Coach, let's talk about the challenges of playing yet another team that you haven't seen in Franklin Regional's case in a very long time.
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's exciting. I'm sure the prognosticators are going to pick them over us because they have been hot and coming on strong here at the end. And, it's a good challenge for our players. And, I'm excited about this week. It's the playoff time, and we got a good game plan offensively and defensively, and it's going to be a challenge for our kids to execute. I think the team that executes the best will come out on top.
Coach, before we talk about alumni, let's talk about the Woodland Hills seniors who last Friday night played in their final regular season home game, and this Friday night will play in their final game at the Wolverina.
Yeah, I'm real proud of these guys. They come in, and I think maybe living off of Woodland Hills' reputation, because not too many of them were varsity starters last year, and they had to earn their own reputation, and I think they did that through the year. We slipped back against West A, but there was a 3-minute span there where everything went their way and nothing went our way. And before we knew it, it was 31-13. So, there were ifs and ands. You could go through that game. It would have been a lot closer, but it didn't happen, and they beat us. And we're in the bottom bracket, and possibility of seeing them again. I think this senior class has proven something to me that they have some determination. And it took a while, but they played very well against Upper St. Clair, and I think they still got something to prove, and they're excited about that opportunity.
Well, Coach, let's talk about some Wolverine alumni, and one consistent theme is Juan Price, who is nominated for one of the best defensive players in college football.
Juan is such a nice kid. He's just a nice kid. He's always smiling. Never has a bad word to say to anybody. Jokes around a lot. He's been through a lot of tough times, with the 2 major operations he had. And, great kid, good student. He's having fun out there playing football. Teams that they're playing against are double teaming him, putting extra guys on, making schemes just to try to stop him. And that's amazing at that level because everybody's good. Not one guy, nobody can handle him one-on-one. He's just so quick and so fast and athletic. And I think he has a good head on his shoulder. And hopefully he gets a shot down the road to get into the league. And I come from a good family. His grandfather, Lucky Price, is an outstanding gentleman from Rankin. Does a lot for the communities. His mom was a Woodland Hills alumni. She was an athlete when she was there, but she still looks like she's a high school or college girl. She's a pretty girl. They got a great family, and I think that says a lot. Most of the guys, all the guys that have made the NFL came from good backgrounds, good families, and I think that's a big part of the success of the kids.
Coach, let's talk about one of your former players and a former Woodland Hills player who played in the NFL, who is now doing a lot for the youth in the community, not just with football.
Yeah, Chris Edmonds, he had an outstanding career here in high school. Went to West Virginia, had an outstanding career there. Played in the NFL for Cincinnati and did a great job there. Now he moved back into the community, has 2 or 3 children in school here. And, he's got active with all the youth organizations. And he's just a super guy, and he wants to do something to help the kids at Woodland Hills. And, sitting in my office, he was asking me what he could do, and we kind of tossed ideas out, and he wants these kids to make something of their lives, and he came up with the theme, "Who are we?" Remember Coach Diesel saying, "Who are we?" And Wolverines. And so that's the name of the program, "Who Are We? Wolverines." And the kids, he started them out this year Last year he went around to several of the schools and talked to the kids and brought some of the other alumni back. Stevie Bresson being one of them. Stevie does a great job. Stevie and Mike Caprera were down at Edgewood talking to the kids last week. Did a super job. Anyhow, getting back to Chris, I could talk about these guys all day, but he started the program, Who Are We? Trying to build all those things that young kids need to make them better citizens, better students. And he's starting out in our intermediate school. Miss Allison Klein is a principal down there, and she's bought into it. And Al Johnson, our superintendent's bought into it. And they're going to work with the kids after school for an hour, boys and the girls. And parents have to approve them getting into the program. It's kind of a mentoring program using athletics to help develop some skills in athletics, which we need for some of those programs where we don't have feeder programs. So he's going to work that end of it, along with being mentors and helping the kids out so they turn out to be good citizens, good students. And I'm real proud of Chris. And we sent out flyers to all the kids in 4th, 5th, and 6th that wanted to get involved with it. And we're going to start that up in December.
Well, Coach, good luck this week against the Panthers, and hopefully we'll talk to you again next week as the Wolverines look to make their 16th trip to the WPIAL semifinals.
Adam, I appreciate that. We've had a lot of great kids here and a lot of great coaches, and you being one of them. But it's just we got a lot of great community here with great people, and that's why we've been successful. Do want to say hello to Aiden up there in New York, Ava and Max up at Bethel Park. Hope you're having a good week. See you down the road.
We'll be back with more of the pregame show right after this here on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
What's for dinner on Thursday night? Chicken wings. Come on down to Turtle Creek for Thursday night wings at the Wolverina. Fresh, whole wings, hand-breaded and hand-tossed with 4 different flavors. And the best part is that all proceeds benefit the Woodland Hills football program. Thursday night wings at the Wolverina every Thursday evening during the season. Let's take a look at the Wolverines' results and remaining schedule. And now the MSA Sports WPIAL 5A Top 10 Rankings.
Again, fans, we thank you for joining us for this WPIAL quarterfinal edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. If you can't make it to the Wolverina on Friday night, you can tune into the game live on the MSA Sports Network at msasports.net. You can watch our live stream on the Woodland Hills Football Network Facebook page. Select broadcasts throughout the season will also be streamed live on our YouTube channel. And as always, you can tune into the replays on Monroeville Comcast Channel 13, Penn Hills Comcast Channel 98, Verizon Fios Channel 37, and all of our broadcasts are available in HD on our YouTube channel. For everybody at the Woodland Hills Football Network, I'm Adam Gusky, and we hope to talk to you again next week as the Wolverines hopefully advance to the WPIAL semifinals.
This has been a presentation of the Woodland Hills Football Network. Watch us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and as always, visit us at woodlandhillsfootballnetwork.com.